Vice President for Research and Economic Development, Scott Snyder. Welcome to the stage, and we're going to talk more generally about the research program today.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up at UND.
Yeah, so I'm a biologist by training, and I won't bore you with talk of parasites today, but that's what I study. So if you want a good story about parasites, might ruin your meal, but I'm your guy. But I've been now serving at the National Science Foundation and different universities, the research enterprise for academic institutions for about 15 years now, and have really enjoyed doing that. So when I saw the opportunity at the University of North Dakota to take over leadership of research and economic development, and I saw the trajectory that this university is on, it was just hugely exciting to me. $182 million in research expenditures last year. That's a huge amount of growth from 5 years before, when it was about $110 million. So that kind of trajectory was just super exciting. And then when I got here on campus and started talking to the people, the leadership team, President Arbacas, that you've assembled around you is just awesome. The facilities are beautiful, and the faculty, staff, and students are just delightful to work for. So all of those things combined really meshed well with my work experiences and the quality of life that I was looking for.
Nice, yeah. And so really those impressions that you had early on, certainly I think Grand Forks and UND have lived up to the hype, right? That it's really brought something special to your life, and I know that you're bringing something special to us as well.
Absolutely. Kathy and I just feel so welcomed in the community. I've gotten to meet many of you in the audience from both on campus and in the greater community, been made to feel really welcome and a part of everyday life here in Grand Forks. It's great.
Awesome. So just like everyone else who has joined us on stage today, we're going to play a game.
All right.
Yeah, there we go. This one is going to look a little familiar. It'll look like the Family Feud. So, top 4 answers on the board on the things that you're focusing on in the Office of Research and Economic Development.
Economic development.
Awesome. So,
I got it.
There it is. It's in the title. Good. So say a little bit more about the efforts there, Scott.
Do I get a hat?
There, you can have a microphone.
That's okay.
We actually have 2. Here, use this one.
Oh, perfect. So one of the things that I really do believe is that institutions of higher education that are publicly funded, those institutions, including the University of North Dakota, have an obligation to our communities and our states to help to develop the economy of the community and of the states. One of the ways that, of course, we do this most successfully is workforce development, right? I talk to business leaders across the state and across the country, and what are the first things that come out of their mouths when I ask them what they need from the University of North Dakota? It's workforce development. That happens in the colleges, that happens with our great students, but from my office, I also look around and think, gosh, we have these great set of resources. The Nistler College has great resources that deal with economic development. The Center for Innovation that just celebrated its 40th anniversary last week is great. And then there are super partnerships between my office, the Alumni Foundation, and the colleges. There's also, as represented here, a really enthusiastic business community that wants to work with the university and wants to connect. And that helps us all to develop the economy of the region. And then Randy Teglin just said the words up here, the Economic Diversification Research Fund that the state legislature funded us for in the last biennium. That's providing the resources to really help us move the economy of North Dakota forward, and is emblematic of the great support that UND and higher education in the state does receive from the legislature.
Nice, nice. How about word number 2?
I've got to remind myself. Okay, am I going to get it? National security.
There it is.
All right.
So Grand Forks and UND have a growing portfolio, of course, with UAS and other areas as well. Say a few words about our efforts on national security.
Yeah, absolutely. So another attractor too, I said I've been supporting research and economic development professionally for about 15 years now. For that same period of time, I've also been very involved in national security research at my previous institutions, United States Strategic Command, Idaho National Lab, among many others. So this national security emphasis of the University of North Dakota was very attractive to me, and I think we can really continue to move things forward. You mentioned the uncrewed aerial systems, and that's just huge. The autonomy that folks in the Research Institute for Autonomous Studies are working on, a huge impact there for national security as we see the events, particularly in Ukraine, and how UAVs are being used in different ways. There's a burgeoning material science program here at UND, which is super important for national security, and then of course our space and satellite research. All of that ties in nationally, but also locally with the presence of the Space Development Agency and at Grand Forks Air Force Base, and all of the work that we can do with those entities. But I also look out, and there are opportunities ongoing and things that I think we can stimulate in biomedical research to support our warfighters and to support our veterans. And then again, just to reemphasize, the support of this community for our national security initiative, the support of this community for Grand Forks Air Force Base and the mission out there is it's really overwhelming. It's fabulous.
Not to mention the great support of the legislature,
yes,
the state legislature, as well as our representatives and senators in DC.
Absolutely.
So, yep. So word number 3.
Increasing research.
Increasing research. Of course, that's a goal, but bing! It's not just about the research, but all of the creative activities. Remember the vision statement I said earlier, which is this love of discovery and that sense of wonder. So say a little more, Scott.
And that's great, Andy, because one of the things that I think I should change this to, it shouldn't be increasing research. That really should say increasing discovery of all kinds. We do an awesome job at this university at STEM research and STEM education, and I know you've talked a little bit about the new building to support the STEM education and research efforts here on this campus. But we also have a number of grand challenges, many of which touch on those STEM fields, but not exclusively on the STEM fields. And those grand challenges really provide a great framework to focus how we invest, to focus how people on campus think about their research and discovery efforts. But as we reframe this as increasing discovery, we also need to remember that there are absolutely awesome things going on in the arts, humanities, and social sciences that touch on those grand challenges, but also have very independent lives of their own. And we need to make certain that we're honoring all types of discovery out here and investing in that discovery so it can grow.
Speaking of discovery, how about word number 4?
Word number 4, discovery discussion.
So what's the discovery discussion?
So this is something I've started to do, and this is kind of to plant a seed both for our faculty partners here and for our community partners. I've started these efforts here in the union once a month right now that have been very, very successful. Faculty are signing up within minutes to participate in these. When I sit down with individual faculty and talk about their discovery aspirations, their discovery goals, and how we might be able to support that. So this gives me a chance to really understand, to take the pulse of the campus and understand discovery of all types, and then it allows me to convey it out to community members, such as are in this audience. So with that, it's super exciting and fun for me to be able to learn about what's going on in campus. But I would also encourage members of the business community and other members of the community, if you have a problem that you'd like solved, drop me a line and I may be able to help connect you with these faculty that I'm talking to work together and provide a solution.
Awesome. Scott, thanks so much for being here. Great 4 answers. You would have gone, what's the final round of Family Feud? I forget. Anyhow, showdown, who knows? Anyhow, you would have made it there.
All right.
He knew all the answers, of course, right. How about a round of applause? Scott Snyder.
Thank you all.